Have you ever felt that simple, quiet joy of just planting a seed and watching it grow? There's something kind of magical about it, right? But what if that small act could do more than just grow a tomato? What if it could actually help heal the planet? Okay, let's dive into how your garden can become this incredible force for healing.
This quote just says it all. It really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. It's all about connecting what we do in our gardens to something so much bigger, so much more beautiful. It's about seeing every single seed not just as food, but as a little promise we make to the earth, a promise to be a true steward of the land.
So for the longest time, I think we've thought of gardening as a way to take from the soil. We plant, we harvest, we take. But there's a shift happening, a really exciting move toward a new mindset, gardening as an act of giving back. And this is the key. It's about moving from being just a gardener to becoming a land steward. And listen, it doesn't matter if you have a huge backyard, a little community plot, or even just a few pots on a balcony. A land steward is anyone who decides to actively care for their little patch of earth with the goal of leaving it better than they found it. So what is this new practice called? It's regenerative gardening. You've probably been hearing this term pop up a lot lately, but here's the thing. The core ideas aren't new at all. They're actually rooted in ancient practices like those of First Nations cultures, who have always focused on replenishing the land they farm.
What's really fascinating here is the fundamental difference between these two ideas. Think of it like this. Sustainable gardening basically says, let's try not to make things any worse. Regenerative gardening comes along and says, hold on, what if we could actively make things better? It's a huge shift from just doing no harm to actively doing good.
So how do we actually do good? Well, the secret isn't in some super complicated technique or an expensive product. Nope, it's right under our feet. It is all about the soil, which, it turns out, is so much more than just dirt. It's a bustling, living, breathing ecosystem.
This is the perfect way to think about it. The soil is the living engine that powers your entire garden. And when that engine is healthy and humming along, everything else just works. Your plants are healthier, they're more resilient, and they're way more nutritious.
And who's running this engine? An incredible invisible universe of microorganisms. We are talking billions of bacteria that act like tiny fertilizer factories. Vast networks of mycorrhizal fungi that create a literal underground internet for plants to talk and share nutrients, plus protozoa, nematodes, and of course, our good friends the earthworms. It's a whole community, a soil food web, all working together.
And this is why it's such a game changer. When this soil community is thriving, it does all the heavy lifting for you. It creates its own nutrients so you can ditch the chemical fertilizers. It builds this amazing structure that holds water like a sponge, which means less watering for you. It even helps fight off pests and suppresses weeds, all while pulling carbon out of the atmosphere and storing it safely in the ground. It's amazing.
Okay, so this all might sound a little complex, but getting started is actually surprisingly simple. It's not about doing everything perfectly all at once. It's just about taking a few small but really powerful steps to bring your soil back to life.
It really boils down to these three things. First, protect the soil. That means disturbing it as little as possible. So, no tilling. This keeps its delicate structure and those fungal networks totally intact. Second, feed the soil. Give it organic matter, like compost and mulch. You're not feeding the plants directly. You're feeding the microbes, who will then turn around and feed your plants. And third, diversify. Planting a bunch of different things together confuses pests and creates a much healthier, more resilient garden.
Now you might be thinking, okay, this sounds expensive. But one of the most beautiful things about regenerative gardening is that it's naturally resourceful. As you can see here, for pretty much every expensive thing you could buy, there's a free or super low-cost alternative. You can make your own compost from kitchen scraps. You can use fallen leaves as mulch. You can join a local seed swap. This whole approach is about working with what you have, not buying what you don't.
And here's where your personal actions connect to something truly global. It's so easy to feel like our little gardens can't possibly make a difference. But when you zoom out, the picture changes dramatically.
Let's just put this into perspective. In the UK alone, private gardens cover over 433,000 hectares. That is more than 4 times the size of all their national parks combined. It's this massive, hidden ecological asset. Now just imagine if every single one of those gardens was managed regeneratively. The collective impact on wildlife, on water cycles, on carbon storage, it would be absolutely enormous.
So your garden, no matter how small it is a powerful force for good. It's a place where you can actively build a healthier ecosystem. It's a little carbon sink,
helping to fight climate change. It's a sanctuary for pollinators and wildlife, creating these crucial stepping stones for biodiversity in a world that can feel pretty fragmented.
You see, this isn't just about growing food anymore. This is about being part of a solution. It's about regeneration. And it all starts with just one single seed, planted with intention. So, what's yours going to be?